So we're going to work our way towards a cash budget here, but before we do that, we've got to lay out a couple of schedules here. I'm going to start with the cash collection schedule so we know what to expect for cash receipts from our customers, and it's not as straightforward as the example we went through in class that I gave you, where we had all of the sales that we had earned were received immediately in the form of cash. So I've laid this schedule out this way. So I've pulled a couple of pieces of information from the problem down here, and one key piece of information is that the average selling price of a pair of skis is $450. I'm going to put that up here so I can reference a formula to this price per unit, and it'll give me a revenue figure. So I know I've got down here as well how many units we sold in each month. I've got each month laid out here in this row, and how many units we sold and the revenue total that we're going to generate from the sale of those skis in that month. So May we had 80 units, 80 pairs of skis. In June we had 120. In July 200, August 100, September was 60, and October was 40. So to get the total revenues is very logical. You just take the units sold times, and I'm going to lock in an absolute reference to this cell, $450. So I'm taking the units times the $450 per pair of skis, and I carry that formula across. That tells me my revenue per month, and but that doesn't tell me how much cash I'm actually collecting, and that's where this chunk of information comes in handy. What we're told is that the accountants have experienced in the past that we will receive 20% of the current month's revenue in cash. So I've built this collections schedule right down here. Maybe I can just copy the months across here. And what you'll see is of the month of May, this $36,000 of sales, I'm going to be able to collect a projected 20%. And I can take that formula and copy it all the way across. What it's simply saying is I'm collecting 20% of the current month's sales in cash. Okay, so that only accounts for 20% of the cash receipts. And we're also told then that the remaining, or not the remaining, but half of the revenue from the prior month will be collected in cash. So what I've got here is prior month sales. We don't know what the April sales were, so I don't know what my cash collections are in May from the prior month sale, but I do know in June that I'm going to collect half of the prior month sales. That's my expectation anyways. And so I'm going to take, and I can copy this formula all the way across, and it's going to simply take 50% of the prior month sales, 50% of the prior month sales. Let me just format this real quick, it's bothering me. So 50% of the prior month sales I've now accounted for. And lastly, the remaining 30%, because 20 plus 50 is 70, I have 30% left. They're paid 2 months after we invoice them. So I don't know what the March sales were, because that's 2 months prior. I don't know what the April sales were. I would collect those in June, because that's 2 months prior. But I do know in July that I'm going to collect 20% of the May sales. So I can build a formula here that says collect 20%, right? No, 30%, sorry. Not 23, 30% of the 2 months prior sales. So I can take that formula, copy it all the way across, and now we just need to pick out which months are we looking at here. And in this problem, I think it said that we take, and we're focusing in on July, August, and September. So even though I have this schedule that covers multiple months, I'm really going to hone in on these 3 months. So the cash collections I could then just take and aggregate these numbers or sum them, add them together. So here are the here's my expected cash collections from customers in these 3 corresponding months. And this will become a very important part of the cash budget as we go and create it.